What's going on, Snackcast?
Hello.
Welcome back. My beautiful wife is here for the follow-up on the food sensitivity testing that we did. Actually went surprisingly well. We shot the blood work that you've seen on a Wednesday, got the tests all prepped up and mailed away on Thursday, and they actually got the results back on Monday. So obviously these folks do testing on the weekend. Again, they're Everlywell. That's who we used. We're not affiliated, compensated, anything. We just picked them out of the blue to do this food test. So initial takeaways, what was your thoughts on the results? We'll dive into the results.
I was super surprised at what came back that I was sensitive to.
And what you weren't sensitive
and
to.
And what I wasn't sensitive
that you
to.
Thought you were. Well, you did pretty good. Kevin's is lit up like a Christmas tree. And we'll get to him next. But, yeah, was it eye-opening, would you say?
Yeah. Well, obviously the biggest surprise to me was I'm sensitive to chicken, which...
That was a spoiler. You weren't supposed to release the spoiler yet.
It's the biggest surprise to me out of all of it was chicken.
So, true story. When I get home after work, the first thing I usually do is kiss my wife, right? And without fail, I can go, "You had garlic today." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, we ate at Olive Garden or wherever else." And lo and behold, she's got a food sensitivity to it. That was the one I thought was really cool because I've known it for years that something wasn't right. That when she ate garlic, it was obvious. But so anyway, well, let's dive in. Let's take a look. So a lot of stuff you thought you were going to be sensitive to, you weren't, like butter, cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, processed cheese.
No, I wasn't allergic to mozzarella cheese.
That's not what I have here. Maybe you were. Maybe I missed it.
Mozzarella was on there.
Okay. But the stuff you were, in the dairy category at least, was casein, which is like a milk protein, cow's milk, goat milk, sheep cheese, and yogurt. So probably no surprise there. I think you probably thought you had some type of lactose.
I knew some kind of lactose,
dairy.
yeah.
This one I thought was strange because one of my wife's favorite food groups, yes, it's a food group, is deviled eggs. And she came back abnormal for egg whites.
Which is sad.
Well,
I like eggs.
If it matters, Kevin pinged both categories. He's egg whites and egg yolks. So pomegranate, you're not a fan of pomegranate. Baker's yeast.
Which is in like everything. Even it said it's even hidden in a lot of the gluten-free like leaven breads and stuff, it's in that too. It's still not. I guess just don't eat carbs.
It's interesting though. You did good on the rest of the grains. Gluten, which is the big red flag for everybody. You didn't flag or trigger abnormal on it. You didn't trigger abnormal on wheat. Legumes. I don't know how you say that. I'm educated here in Polk County, but. Green bean, you came back abnormal. With all these other fava bean, green pea, kidney bean, lentil, lima, mung, navy, green bean.
Green beans.
You came back. And I wouldn't even consider that a bean. I consider that a vegetable. But, so in the meat category, she was clear for beef, duck, lamb, pork, quail, and turkey, but flagged chicken. How is that?
I don't know. That kind of makes me a little sad too, but I don't eat a ton of chicken, but I like my chicken wings a lot.
You'll still have to eat the chicken wings. Yeah. That's not real chicken.
That's not real chicken.
It comes from Sam's Club, so it's mostly hormone and steroid.
Okay.
So you're good. Seafood, all clear. No shellfish, no nothing. So that's good. Seeds and nuts. You only flagged for like Brazil nut and pine nut, so that doesn't affect you really. Vegetables, no big deal. You did flag for bell pepper, but you don't really like bell pepper much anyways.
No,
right?
I mean I like it cooked. I like fajitas. That's one of my favorite foods is fajitas that has bell peppers in it. So I'm gonna have to rethink that a little bit. But
Yeah. And no more Greek rice rolls because you're allergic to grape leaf.
yeah, not a problem.
Or abnormal, I should say.
Abnormal.
Again, this isn't an allergy test. It's a sensitivity test. The only other one on vegetables was squash, which, I mean, gosh, if you're clear on zucchini, then who cares about the yellow one? They're basically identical if you ask me. Spices, it's kind of, garlic, although hops.
I know.
Hops.
That's the worst of all of it.
That's
No, really. I do like
Is
my
there
beer.
such a thing as hops-free beverage?
Seltzers. I'm trying to find, in giving up the gluten, I was already trying to find other things to drink, which I'm having a hard time with, but I'll figure it out. Trial and
Yeah.
error.
Well, wrapping up the list was rosemary and thyme, which is interesting because I like to cook a steak in either butter or ghee and throw a bunch of rosemary in there while it's cooking. And you've never really liked that. You're like, please don't do that to mine. So it's interesting that your palate didn't like it, and it turns out that you're sensitive to it. So I thought that was interesting, that like the garlic and the rosemary, that things that we thought, but we wouldn't have labeled. You didn't label rosemary as something you thought you were allergic to, but you definitely never liked it.
Right.
So what's your big takeaway? You're going to go do some more testing, right?
Yep. Working with my doctor, there's another test that he wants me to do. It's called the ALLCAT, but it takes like a bigger, deeper dive, and then you work with they give you a nutritionist to work with on going through what you can eat and helping you do a food plan. So in the next few months, I'm gonna we'll take that test with my doctor, and so it'll be interesting just to get it, because this was just a sensitivity, but being able to take that deeper dive.
Right. And it's, not to get into how old you are or anything, but, of course, when you get to our age, it's like, you're starting to, I don't know, you're starting to realize, right, that I want to do anything I can to have optimal health. And if it means giving up deviled eggs, well, maybe that's the road we got to take, right? And it's your choice to do that. But, it is kind of interesting, and I'm proud of you for going through it and trying to stick to it. And so
it's a journey. It's going to be a long journey down.
It's a vacation forever.
Oh,
journey sounds so bad.
All right.
So
it's going to be a long vacation trying to figure out what works and doesn't work with my system. But this is a great start to figuring that out.
Took 5 days. Your bloodletting was fairly easy. Kevin's looked like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy were hanging out. But so that's really it. You got anything else for the? No? All right. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Questions, comments, concerns. You're allowed to flirt with Juan. You're not allowed to flirt with my wife. But hit us at snackcast@yes.fit. As Kevin would say, stay moving and see ya.